My brother brutally injured my elderly dad in an attempt on my life, so I finally pressed charges. 8 months later, he came crawling back for forgiveness and immediately betrayed me by destroying Dad's funeral. Growing up, my brother was the kind of person who got a thrill out of biting people and hurting small animals. When I was 6, my mom walked out because of him, even though she thinks it was because of me. What happened was my brother stole her jewelry and planted it under my bed alongside a knife, with a note saying, "Don't take these back, Mommy. I'll hurt you. Love, my name." This was confirmation to her I was insane, as my brother had already convinced her into thinking I was crazy with similar acts prior to this one. She packed her bags and left, but Dad stayed, and he saw through my brother like an X-ray. He walked straight up to him and forced him to call my mom, forced him to explain it was him. He knew it wouldn't bring her back to us, but he knew I deserved not to be blamed for what he did. That was basically my life. My brother would try to ruin me, and my dad would protect me from him. When my brother used violence against me, my dad would stand between us. When my brother pulled knives on me, my dad would point to the locked safe box with his firearm. He was never afraid of my brother, and he was my hero for it. But the older we got, the worse my brother became. At 16, he reported Dad to CPS, claiming abuse. Social workers showed up unannounced, asking humiliating questions, examining bruises that my brother had given himself. I remember Dad sitting at the kitchen table afterward, face pale. He managed to clear his name, but not before losing his job and having his new girlfriend dump him due to the investigation. Dad had us at 52, so he was already pretty old, but he got much weaker after that. It's like he aged 10 years during that 1 month. But even still, he protected me from my brother. At least he tried, until the night my brother showed up at our house one evening. He was doped up, drunk, and furious. He accused me of being the reason Dad never liked him. In front of us both, he went insane. He charged at me, his fists balled. He was older, heavier, stronger. I was gonna get mauled. I was sure of it. But of course, like always, Dad moved between us. He was old and weak by now, but it didn't stop him. Unfortunately, he couldn't overpower my brother. My brother shoved him so hard he slammed against the wall, collapsing instantly. But even still, while on the floor, Dad saved me. He mustered up enough strength to yell at my brother, telling him the cops are already on their way. It was a bluff, but my brother bought it. He ran out as fast as he could. To say I was thankful was an understatement. I was safe, but the damage to my dad was done. I took him to the hospital, and doctors said that given Dad's age, 4 broken ribs and a split scalp were serious. We pressed charges for the first time ever, yet my brother somehow managed to escape getting sentenced, walking away with 200 hours of community service. But he still saw this as unjust, and he used this 200 hours to get his revenge. Dad only lived for about 8 months after that accident. In his final weeks, I stayed beside him constantly. On his last night, Dad took my hand, squeezed weakly, and whispered a final warning about my brother, urging me never to trust him again. He died quietly a few hours later. The funeral arrangements started up very soon, and that's when my brother returned. I hadn't seen him in almost a year. The first time I saw him, my throat closed up and I wanted to run. I was sure he was going to try hurt me, but he didn't. Instead, he begged me for forgiveness. He promised to me that he wanted closure and peace between us. He told me that the community service gave him time to reflect and that he's realized how big of a piece of crap he was. He said he knows he doesn't deserve forgiveness, but as a Christian, maybe I could find it in my heart to forgive him. And right then, blinded by grief, I believed him again. I agreed that he could attend the funeral, but nothing else. No speeches or showmanship. He agreed. The funeral home was